You gotta be like a child. Unless you change and become like little children, you'll never enter the kingdom of heaven. You gotta be like a child. Whenever the world calls a child, like the symphony, welcomes me, welcomes me. You gotta be like a child. Unless you change and become like little children, you'll never into the kingdom of heaven. You gotta be like a child. Whenever the world calls a child, like the symphony name welcomes me, welcomes me. You gotta be like a child. You gotta be like a child. Unless you change and become like little children, you'll never enter the kingdom of heaven.
Oh my word, that is my absolute new passion. That song is just absolutely a winner. You gotta be like a child. It's by our star guest tonight. She has enjoyed a spectacularly successful music career since she was very young. No less than 20 UK top 30 hits as lead singer with Five Star, the youngest group to ever have a #1 album, and the first band to have 7 consecutive hit singles from an album. Success as a solo artist has continued in America and Europe. She's a multi-platinum Grammy nominee, a Brit Award winner. She garnered rave reviews when she took to the stage in Michael Jackson's Thriller Live in the West End, and writes successfully as well for other artists. After 42 years in music, she knows a thing or two about songwriting. And it's a joy to welcome the much-loved Denise Pearson. Hi, Denise.
Hey, Linda.
Hey.
How are you?
Oh, it's great to hear you. It really is. And I think the girls just want to give you a round of applause because we're all huge fans of yours, my dear.
Thank you.
Oh, my
Thank you.
goodness.
Thank you guys so much. What an introduction. That's amazing. Thank you.
Well, congratulations on that song. It is gorgeous.
Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful. And, you know, we've a studio full of busy mums here to appreciate you. How on earth have you combined music stardom with raising your children?
Well, sweetie, my kids are grown now. I had them in 94 and 95, so they are 30 and 31. So they have their own partners and their own homes, and you know, so I'm young, free, and single again. So I've got all this time to put my music together, start again with my music career.
You're not a glamorous granny yet, are you?
No, I never will be.
You refuse.
I refuse.
That song that we've just heard, you know, You've Got to Be Like a Child. I mean, it showcases so many of your vocal abilities, from reggae to rap to R&Bs. It's got it all. And the song references your love of childhood wonder and innocence, but also your strong faith. You often use your music to convey that's important to you. So where does that faith come from, Denise?
I think it was, well, when we were growing up over in Romford, Essex, Mum used to have what they called a lady used to come over, and she used to talk about the Bible. Her name was Jenny, actually, a beautiful lady. And it was really, really, really boring for us because we were just young kids. And it's like you have to sit down and you have to listen. Then you have to go to Sunday school. But the faith, sweetie, there's nothing like having faith in God and having faith in the angels and keeping that youthful faith of truth and love and belief and helping one another, you know, and common sense in this day and age, you know. Yeah, that's and I do believe what you think about, you bring about consistently, and it manifests into your life. So that's what, like a child, part of that track is about, manifesting your life path.
Wow.
Connecting and liberated all the shaders hated, chillaxing and going with that for low, yo, baby, what do you know? You got to be like a child.
Yeah.
You know?
You come from a family band, Five Star are your siblings, of course. You were an absolute smash when you did Michael Jackson's Thriller Live in the West End. My goodness. All the reviewers said you sounded like Michael Jackson. You were amazing in it. Andy, our producer, had just said hello to you earlier on, putting you through on air. Andy went to see it twice. He couldn't believe, you were just magnificent in it. Now, Michael Jackson's life was tumultuous and famously unhappy as a child with his father. Singing with family is unique. Has it given you the confidence to be out in the spotlight on your own?
Yeah, I think Thriller Live was one of the first performances that I did, actually. And I wasn't even a Michael Jackson fan back in the day. Doris and Lorraine were the Michael Jackson fans. I was Smokey Robinson fan. So when I got this chance but I've always understood Michael's music, though. It's always been very percussive. I understand that kind of, and then he puts the words to it, the vocals, and, that was my first time stepping out on my own. It wasn't that easy because I had to follow the cast. So they're like, Denise, you're supposed to be stage right. You're supposed to be stage left. So it's like sometimes I just felt this moment, and it's like I'm just staying here and singing, what about us? What about us? Let's stop the theme. What about us? And it's like you're supposed to be walking to the back and coming to the front. It's like, no, you just got to go around me. I was in the moment.
Wow. Your appearance on The Voice in 2012 and becoming part of Tom Jones's team opened so many different doors for you, including supporting the Jacksons. And of course, Michael had died by then. How did that feel to be with another set of siblings, but missing one huge part of them?
I think the music speaks for itself, sweetie. We just lost Stead. With my strong faith, I do believe his energy is still here. We're all energy traveling in different vehicles, and I don't think we die when the vehicle dies. Because most of the time we don't even look like the vehicle after we've passed. Our energy and our spirit is still around. That's what I believe. So I think just even performing our music, Can't Wait and Rain or Shine, Systematics at these festivals. I mean, this is 6 top 10 hits, but my show is a 6 top 10 hit show, and everyone in the audience watching all of the videos that's been made for each tune, and they're singing along to every word. So it's just a magnificent love energy. The 80s music was an era of love, and it's just phenomenal.
Yes, and that energy, your energy, the energy that comes from you, the energy that came from your beloved dad, Buster, that's gone round the globe. That's round the world. That's a phenomenal thing to have been responsible for. Buster, your dad, was a fantastically accomplished musician and performer and producer and owner of record labels. So your faith, that was an enormous loss. But your faith and your philosophy clearly have sustained you through it. And that's a wonderful explanation you've just given of energy, which cannot be quashed. It cannot be quelled. Energy, It's a law of physics, isn't it? The energy goes somewhere. And
there you go, Linda.
Yeah, you clearly believe that. And somebody else here, one of your lifelong fans is here in the studio, Kate Orr. Kate believes that too, because Kate is here because she has put together this movement. It was a campaign that became a movement called Fighting to Be Heard. And I'm looking at the front cover of the book now, and it's the most astonishing photograph of these 20 women women, some of whom are no longer with us, but they all fought breast cancer. And now, Kate, you're fighting for change. You're fighting for the iniquity of treatments, different chemotherapies in different parts of the country.
Hi, Denise.
Hey, Kate, how are you, sweetheart?
I'm just going to start breaking out into rain or shine. I can see me and my sisters in the bedroom giving it loads. I can't quite believe I'm on the radio with you.
I'm so proud of you putting that book together. And
thank
the
you.
women are immortalised on the cover. That's beautiful.
They are, yeah. So Sane 7, she's an amazing campaign photographer. She took the image in 2021. And within 1 year, unfortunately, the statistics started unravelling in the image, and we'd lost 5 of the ladies. So then one of her friends who's on the Real Housewives team, she allowed us to launch what we didn't know what was going to be really a charity that would support, that friendship, financial support, and then the fight to be heard. So we're, like, the 3 Fs are our main mission, but we're all voluntary led, and the majority who are involved in the charity are patients themselves. Remarkably, they are given their own very precious time because they have got an incurable diagnosis to helping and serving others. And I'm a firm believer in everything you said. We are just a vehicle. Our energy definitely lives on. And I'm with you 1,000,000% on that, because what I've experienced over the last few years, I'm 1,000,000% behind that. And I when people say, oh, how can there be a God when all of this is going on? People are losing their mums, their daughters and what have you. And I say, but the energy we don't lose their energy. We've just got, it's like having a car that runs forever, and then one that you pick up from the showroom, and it gets broken every, year or so. It's letting it, I think it's just, we are a vehicle, and unfortunately, sometimes, it breaks down, and then others, but the energy completely carries on. I feel that the girls are and have been around the last few weeks, certainly. So,
oh, that's wonderful. That's so wonderful. And sometimes I'm an alchemist, so if there's anything negative that happens, I tend, sometimes it's very, very hard, but if we choose to look at the positive of this negative thing that we've named as negative, when we look at the positive of it, it teaches us lessons. And if it wasn't for the ladies, having their circumstances, the book may not have come to pass to help other ladies. So there are certain things that happen in life where we have to kind of give thanks to that life to provide all of that material to keep on helping each other. And that's what life is all about, helping each other.
There's a lady in the charity, she was one of the co-founders with myself and another lady, and her tweets reach now 1.82 billion, and what she said in her tweet was, don't cry for me, I've lived my life on my own terms. And that went all over the world. And she used to joke with me saying, I'm not into that Instagram, Kate. It's Twitter. That's where we need to be. I've got one that's gone viral. It's gone to 200 likes, and I'd smile and everything. And I'd think, if only she knew, but she definitely does know that her legacy now has reached 1.82 billion. I mean, she will be smiling down from wherever she is, for sure.
That's so incredible. Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. But how do you look after yourself, Denise? Because, touring is hectic. It needs huge planning and involves such physical fitness and lots of travelling. And you've got lots of high-profile shows coming up in London shortly. And you're planning a tour yourself next year. So how do you look after your diet, your body, your voice?
Well, every day. Sometimes I get tired, so sometimes if I feel tired, I kind of skip the day. But I do not push myself. I do enjoy actually working out every day and singing and harmonizing to Mariah and Celine and Whitney songs, and kind of keeping those vocal muscles tight and together. Because that's very, very important for the high notes in Can't Wait and Stay It Out of My Life and all the other songs. My diet is no carbs. hardly any sugar, just mostly fruits. No pizza, no flour, no rice, because I do think they create dis-ease in our bodies. So I tend to stay, just eat fresh vegetables and soups, good hearty soups, and rice cakes sometimes, and just grapes, and keeping it light.
Gosh, that's very disciplined, but very good advice. Kate, you have a nutritionist
We
for
do,
the girls.
yeah,
don't you?
because it's so costly, Denise, with regards to, you know, access to great nutritional advice. One of the things that we've got is a nutritionist that's really qualified. She used to work with Kate Rackham, who I've just mentioned before. Her name's Faye, and she's called Lift Nutrition, and she is qualified to work with people who've got stage 4 cancer, so working around the chemo treatments. And it's proven that if you've got great nutrition, it enhances the outcomes 100%. You know, it is proven that it does. Even Kate was walking up until 3 weeks before she passed, you know, and she was on a great nutritional program and in some other countries, they're actually lowering the dose of chemo. And as long as they've got a great nutritional program in place, it's proven that you can lower the chemo dose and get, you know, better outcomes. So there are tests going on at the moment, but you've got to have both. The symbiotic, you've got to have, it's seen, isn't it, that you need to have your medical support, and also you need great nutrition as well.
Well, from the sound of it, you steer clear of processed food then, Denise, because, you know, we are nature, aren't we? We are nature just as much as the trees and the plants who also get disease if they're not treated properly.
Yeah, absolutely. It causes disease because they are man-made. You know, God has given us, an array of fruit, and it's sweet, and an array of vegetables, and it's savoury, you know, an array of legumes and food that we ingest and keeps our bodies healthy. But sometimes we do become like couch potatoes. We want the chips, we want the cantons, the Chinese, and then we have the biscuits after, and the tea and the coffee. But I do tend to. The herbs are very, very good to drink. The raw herbs. I buy a lot of them online and just mix them all together and have it as a tea. It's very, very bitter, but I know it's nourishing my body. So.
And how did you raise your children to eat healthily against a storm of advertising of all the fast foods and all the, you know, fizzy drinks and so forth? I mean, the government's just announced that you can't offer refills of fizzy drinks anymore in restaurants because, you know, it's acknowledged the damage that sugar is doing, non-natural sugar. So how did you convince your children, you know, to do without some of the stuff that they see their colleagues having, the other children?
Well, Sidi, when they were both born at Cedar Sinai over in California, and I was about 15 stone when I was having my son, my ex-husband at the time, my husband at the time. He was saying, "Eat, baby. Baby needs food. Eat that." And I was eating 3-4 burgers at this barbecue. And it's like, oh, I'm so full. And then he started giving me spinach leaves, raw spinach leaves. And it's like, I'm really gaining weight here, you know? And so as soon as my son was born, he was a tiny little 6-pound baby. I was consistently on the treadmill, and I was eating frozen yogurt with peanuts, and then I'd have salads and with broccoli. So I always used to clean the broccoli, and the kids would always look at me eating the broccoli and dipping it in ranch dressing. So they were like, "Mommy, can we have the little trees? Can we have some of the little trees?"
Oh.
Yeah, okay. So they kind of were eating raw veg because Mommy was eating it. So yeah, I was consistently on a diet as soon as I dropped the kids.
That's fantastic. Because we were talking about that, Kate, weren't we, about, you know, how the quest to find out what is causing cancer in younger and younger people. You know, it's like never before. So
Yeah.
there's got to be something. And your first
Yes,
thought is,
sweetheart.
surely it's the change in the food
Yeah.
that
Yes.
we've been eating.
A lot of people are saying
Absolutely.
go back to like the way, you know, our parents, you know, brought us up, where you were sitting down at the table and having meat and two veg
Yeah,
and
no
you know,
snacks.
no, yeah. And also as well, one of the things that I've learned along the way from this journey in nutrition and stuff, it's actually sitting down at the table. We do that now. Well, we've always done that religiously. We, you know, I can see my nan and granddad sitting saying, you know, grace before we ate and everything. So I'm in a tradition of sitting down at the table and always have been. But sitting down and being in good company and having a laugh, your
Yeah.
body actually, you know, absorbs that food in a different way than if you are
Yeah.
eating in stress. So you're better off not eating when you're stressed and waiting until
Absolutely.
you're calm and with
Yes.
good company. Or I'm not
With
saying, you know,
company.
yeah,
There
because it
you
makes
go,
a massive
sweetheart.
difference.
It really does. The company you keep does have an impact on your well-being.
Yeah.
You know, so, and the food that we eat, I mean, the meat isn't the same anymore. When meat becomes industry, I mean, how they just slaughter these animals,
Yeah.
just take the lives and then just rip the meat and then just,
Ugh.
you know, you don't even know how long the meat has been out in the freezer before it's put on the shelves. And the dyes and the pumps and whatever they're doing to the hormones that they're putting into these meats, you know, everything that is going into that meat is going into our bodies once we ingest it. And so that's the reason why I stay clear from any kind of flesh, no fish, no cheese, nothing with hormones, animal hormones.
Yeah, the voice is such a delicate instrument, and you know, are there rules that you have on performance days? You know, do you stay clear of dairy or anything like that you have as a ritual?
Yeah, well, that's what the girls are saying. Okay, so I went to do rehearsal for a show, and the backing singers were in there kind of rehearsing, and I walked in with this, what is it called? The ice lolly, but it had the creamy part in the middle.
Oh yes,
Magnum.
Was it a Magnum or a rocket
Or a Solero.
That's
or
it.
a rocket?
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were just looking at me eating it, and they said we could never ever do that, you know, because a lot of people say it's never good to have anything oily or dairy or milky before you go out and sing, because it gives you the frog in your throat.
Yes.
But now that I don't have the dairy. Mummy always used to cook this curried, like she cooks curried veg, and I will take she puts a lot of oil, like olive oil. So I eat a lot of that before especially at Thriller Live and before shows, I eat a lot of oil because it lubricates my vocal cords.
Oh well,
Yeah.
it works. It certainly works. My gosh, because we're on the receiving end of the product. And turmeric is the new thing, they say, is so anti-inflammatory.
Yeah.
You know, and that's used in curry as well, isn't it? So there's
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true, sweetheart. The root is better to juice and to drink than the powder. But I do think sweets have a lot that's linked to cancer also, because I hear of these ladies having Ladies' Day, and it's like pink ribbons, and then they're all getting together having tea and biscuits and tea and cakes, and it's like, why are you guys having tea and cakes?
It's
You know,
like
because-
it's like with the kids
Yeah.
in school, you know, we're feeding our children, you know, in schools, like carb loading them and, you know, feeding them a terrible, you know, we need to revolutionize what the kids are eating in school, and, you know, it
Yes,
starts when they're young, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, if we go 2 weeks without eating sugar, when you start eating the sugar the way that you were eating it before the 2 weeks, you can't take it anymore, because the body actually does go right. It adjusts itself, you know,
yes.
and that's what I find. Sometimes I'm just like an evening, kind of just sitting and those Jenny Dodgy biscuits.
Yummy dodgy. You're definitely taking us back to the 80s.
Yes, and Jaffa cakes. Jaffa cakes also. My daughter used to like the little doughy part of the Jaffa cake, and I always used to eat the orange part. So I'm like, here, mama, here, mama.
You've spent the past year in the studio, Denise. You know, you've been completing your forthcoming album, which we can't wait. Free Queen C, which is due out early next year, and we heard Like a Child, which is your first release of this year. And how have you been in the studio this year? Are you itching to get out there and be performing? Is that where your heart is, or do you love being in the recording studio as well, just as much?
Oh gosh, yeah, they're both two very different experiences, sweetie. I love to comp vocals. I used to comp all of our vocals back in the day, and that's going through all of the tracks and putting the vocals together, parts that I liked, all the words and the phrases and things, and then whittle it down to one track. I love to do that, and just harmonies, putting harmonies together in the studio. And then being out on the road and singing it live, and sometimes singing it with a backing track, it's just phenomenal. And just getting the audience's energy back, the feedback is just so phenomenal. I can't wait to get this album out to you guys. It was supposed to be released last year, but all of these downloads kept coming to me, sweetie. Mm-hmm. So I have like 26 tracks and interlinks. So I think I'm going to do the Volume 1 and Volume 2 of Free Queen C, which will actually be dropping this December. We've decided to go for this December, maybe Volume 1.
Oh, wow. That's a double treat to look forward to. You did a sensational cover of Beyonce's Listen, I remember. My goodness, that was incredible. And then, you know, your medley of Whitney Houston hits were phenomenal as well. Your vocal range and your vocal ability is really astonishing. And it's only got better and better and better as the years have gone by. You did that memorable performance at Sydney Opera House in Australia as lead singer in this amazing show, which I saw online, called Disco Divas. That was just phenomenal. You've been on tour with Billy Ocean as well as the Jacksons. It's these live shows where people can't get enough of seeing you, you know, in the flesh performing. And my goodness, you look better than ever. So you really are a walking advert for all that you've been, you know, telling us and preaching about how to look after yourself. My goodness, it's you know. So I mean, presumably you feel as good as you look.
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, sweetie, there is, you know, after all the Jaffa cakes and all of the jammy doddies and then the bagels. When I wake up in the morning, it's like, I really don't want to get out of bed, and I'm kind of like clouded. My mind is kind of clouded. And it's like, Denise, why did you do this? It's like, because I needed the taste of these things, and then I don't do it for another month, 2, 3, 4, and then maybe after a show, it's like, I'm still on a high, and then I might have some crisps or something, but it really does bring my energy down.
Yeah.
So I love waking up and feeling great, getting onto my socials, answering my emails, and even writing, putting some tracks together, and then having a coffee, and then having some fruit, and kind of like feeling light and feeling great, and then just meditating, just keeping my mind with God and the angels and my spiritual guides, because I do believe we are spiritually connected to all of these energies that we're not utilizing in our lives.
Yes,
it's a believing in the unseen, believing in the unseen, because that's the only thing that's really real.
Yes, exactly. Because that's what they say about the rainbow. On that, there are 7 colours, but there are just hundreds of shades we can't
Yeah.
see. You know,
Yes.
so it's you're right about only believing what you see is not the
Yes.
way to go at all. It's
Yes,
we
there
are
you go.
instinctive creatures, aren't we?
There you go.
Your energy has done us all the power
Yes.
of good tonight. Isn't that right?
Sweetheart.
Definitely,
I think
Definitely.
Yeah, thank
It's
you.
another,
Yeah.
you have done us the power of good,
Thank
just
you.
listening to you, just picking up your vibe. I'm sure that
Thank
goes for
you.
everybody at home and listening out, driving the taxis and the lorries through the night, of
Beautiful.
which we have a lot. And I know, Denise, that I can see the effect you've had on Kate. She's sitting opposite me.
Oh,
I just wish you were coming to our event and singing for us on the 25th of October.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
We've got
Oh,
2 girls from The Voice,
Okay.
Ray Costello. She's singing, and Rosalie Galvin. They've both been on The Voice. I think Rain got to the finals with Will.i.am.
Oh, did
Oh,
she?
So
wow.
they're singing.
Amazing.
So we are having a very uplifting night, full of singers and entertainment. It's called This Is Me. So
Oh, beautiful.
I'm
Maybe
sure your
next time.
schedule's chocker. it wouldn't be me if it didn't ask.
Bit short notice for October 25th.
I'm
but-
only joking.
But I know, Denise, you will be wishing them well in spirit, all
Oh,
the
God,
ladies
yes.
fighting
Oh,
cancer.
absolutely. Absolutely. Angels watching over all of us.
Thanks,
Yeah.
love.
Denise, it's just been a joy to have you, really. Your joyous energy has uplifted us all when we needed it after, talking with Kate about, so many unhappy things that have happened with the ladies and, the hopes for the future, that there will be less and less of it as we go forward for
Absolutely.
our
Keep
children, our daughters,
Keep doing
our
your thing.
granddaughters.
Yeah. Keep doing your thing, Kate and,
Thanks, love.
ladies. I'm very, very proud of what you're doing. Very, very
Thank
proud of you
love.
guys.
And like you say, you've made me feel better, because before you came on, I was so tired and stuff like that and a bit emotional, but you've made me think about the positives and also the fact that their energy has definitely lived on, and then they might not be with us in body, but definitely in spirit. So thank you for
Definitely
that,
in
love.
spirit. You're welcome, sweetheart. Always think of them every day. They'll always be around you.
Oh, thanks.
We
love.
can't wait to see you on tour next year. I don't have any dates just yet, but Judd Lander, the tremendous Judd Lander, will be giving me a sheet of all the dates so we can see where we can come and see you in the nearest, even if we come down to London to see you. But we'll keep an eye on where you're going. And we love you lots, and we wish you all the continued success in the world. Thanks for being
Thank
with us
you.
this Sunday night, Denise.
Thank
Lots
you,
of
ladies, for
love.
having me. Lots of love, sweetheart. Take good care. God bless.
God
Thank
bless.
you.
Good
God bless,
night.
Denise.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.